Yo, this episode is so dope because I literally feel like I just made a new best friend. Um, talking to Dodi Vasquez from Pizza King of Texas over in League City. You gonna love this one. Just tune in, listen to his story on spending, starting at 14 years old in the restaurant, working his way through the ranks as a cashier, cook, manager, and now as the most recent owner of this business there. So he's into his second year of ownership. Tune in, listen to his story, and reach out to him. He's got a great TikTok page. Go follow him, Pizza King of Texas, on all platforms. But without further ado, let's get into the episode with Pizza King of Texas, Dodi Vasquez. See you. All right, man. There we go. We live. I got my man Dodi here from Pizza King of Texas, and I'm repping.
I see you.
So now,
I was low-key thinking
I'm repping. Yeah, I was trying to decide, like, man, I think I already wore the black one on the podcast once, and I hadn't pulled this one out. So I'm like, let me pull the white one out and it represent. And I had this ain't even my hat, it's my son's hat. But it was like, man, that shit looked kind of good with it. So
you got that shit on.
yeah, let me throw that on for it. But no, man, what's up, bro? We've been trying to link up for a little while now. For anybody that's watching, listening to this is Dodi Vasquez, right? I hope I'm not the first person to call you Justin.
You know, a lot of people don't even know I'm the owner. So, and I like to keep it that way.
I like that. So tell us who you are. Tell us about your shop and how you got into it. Who is the Pizza King of Texas?
All right. So, I mean, I can't claim to be the original Pizza King, but I started in the business when I was 12. And really what happened was my sister had her first job, and there's an 8-year difference between me and her. So when she was 16, I was 8. So her first job was at a pizzeria, and that pizzeria ended up selling to Pizza King, which was a gentleman out of Wellsville, New York. And pretty much what happened was he started a trucking company, and he was traveling all over the U.S., and he grew up making pizzas with his father in New York. So there's a Pizza King in New York as well. And so while doing trucking, he said the rules got real crazy, and then he met a lady in Texas, and so he settled down, had a baby, and he was like, I'm going to open up my pizza shop in Texas. And as luck would have it, he ended up buying the one my sister was at. She kind of went over with him as part of the allocation or whatever. And so from 2006, she was there with him working at Pizza King. She was his right-hand lady. And then when I said 12, I meant to say 14, I'm sorry. When I was 14, she brought me on. She was like, look, Summer, start saving up for your car. I'll teach you everything. We'll work under the table. So summer when I was 14, summer when I was 15, I was in Pizza King, starting to hustle, learning the pizzas, taking out the trash, washing dishes, mopping floors.
Did they start you, like, were you cooking or were you doing kind of cleaning up, doing prep, answering the phones?
You got to work your way up to the end of the table. So I started with phones, started sweeping, wiping tables down, and so by the time I turned 16, I was already a trained manager, pretty much, just without, the maturity or whatever. So, started part-time when I was 16, and I've been there since, man. I've been there from 14 till right now I'm 26, so 12 years. Yeah. And
so was your sister, was she a manager for the guy who owned it?
So
the guy who owned Pizza King, was she a manager for him?
She was the store manager for him, and she was going to school to be an accountant. And so when she finally went to graduate, he knew that, hey, I'm losing my manager. So I don't know what I'm going to do next. Cause when she was graduating, I think I was 17. So he's like, I don't really have much trust in this little kid, trust him with the key to the store. And which I understand now. Cause, at the time I'm like, I don't want to give up for you, even all the people you got here. So, basically what ended up happening was he ended up starting to have to work more. He was a perfectionist. He didn't like nobody making pizzas if they didn't know how to make it just like him. And so he had a real issue letting off the reins, and he just wore himself out. And so after my sister graduated and she went on about her life, shortly thereafter, probably 2 years after, he ended up selling the store to somebody else. And but his dream was to open a second store with her. He wanted her to be a co-owner with him, and she just didn't want that life. She wanted to sit at a desk, or that's what she was working towards. So I can't blame her.
She's like, I gave you 18 years.
She gave a long time. I think, let me see, 16. She gave about 14 years of work to Pizza King. And even what because when you graduate college, you're not just jumping into a career. You got to jump through hoops, get your experience in. So the first few jobs weren't paying really what they should have been paying. And so
kind of doing,
she's consolidating that payment cut with driving. So even after graduation, she was still there.
So you can still, that's what I love about what we do, because you can have your hands in it any kind of way. Like, even if you've been a manager, you are a store leader, you can still come get a few hours driving, still have an impact. Because once you ain't just going to drive.
Yeah, you're going to get in there and help out when it's busy.
You go help, you going to make sure it's like, and you there too. So she definitely making sure you're not messing up her name.
So I'm more laid back than she is. She's a little more uptight than I am. So, she got them workers. Come on, step it up. So
like, this ain't how I left it. No.
Clean that sink over there. And so sometimes I miss having her around, because she was like that backbone. So, and I watch a lot of your stuff, because, what I've seen is, if you're having a team problem, that's a you problem. It's a leadership. So
most of the time,
and I'm still young. I'm trying to figure it out myself. So, and being a good boss and a laid back boss and all that, how all that can start. It's a slippery slope, I guess,
For sure. Yeah. I'm guilty of that myself. Like, I'm so chill that sometimes it comes across as, you can get away with stuff, but I just try to be that good example and make sure, hey, look, even though you see me chilling, I'm doing everything the way that we're supposed to do it. And I care about the attention to detail, the quality of the product. That's usually my thing that I get hung up on. Like, even though I'm chilling, even though I'm laid back and I'm not a rah guy, those pizzas are perfect every time, and I don't play that shit. So, like,
every time
you could chill when we get them pizzas right, but them pizzas got to be right. That's what I care about, and that's what our customers care about.
Yep, the consistency, right? We sell consistency is what I heard.
That's it. They want that experience. They work hard for that $20, $25, $30, whatever we charge. They want to make sure they get it the way they want it. And it's not like they got crazy expectations. It's just, they want it the right way.
Yeah. The simple things get messed up. So that's
so did Big Sis kind of inspire you to get into leadership, or was there another manager or leader that kind of tapped you and said, look, man, you might be right for this?
Nah, my Big Sis has always kind of been my mentor and everything. So her first job was my first job. She went to school for accounting. I went to school for accounting, and she kind of just paved the way for my life to just, she was on the feeder her whole life so that I could get on the freeway. And you feel me? And I really appreciate that. But I always had more the entrepreneur spirit of, like, I want to be my own boss. I don't want to drive to Houston every day to make a paycheck and come back home tired and sit in traffic an hour every day, both ways. So I always wanted to own a business. I just didn't know what. And so what I tell people is, I'm like, sometimes it's not about doing what you love, but do what you don't. And I was doing pizza for so long that you end up loving what you do because you're so good at it. That's basically what happened with me. I was a manager, and then whenever the original Pizza King decided to sell to, funny story, an accountant, that got
all y'all accountants making pizza over there.
He didn't make any pizzas though. Peter was a owner operator, and then the new guy was just a owner. All he did was sign check.
Okay.
And so basically, whenever he was supposed to be training with the old owner, I ended up taking all the training because he wasn't going to be in the store. And so from that point forward, it's like I knew everything inside. And then now all I had to do was learn the back end of it. And I have schooling and accounting, and now I have real world experience. And I'm like, man, I can do this for myself. I'm over here busting my butt for new owner. And it's like, I could be doing this for myself, putting all these hours in for him, and it could be for me.
So you got to see it both sides. You saw the passion and the dedication of the first guy, the Pizza King, who worked it until he couldn't even work it anymore. Right. And then you saw the transactional side of a guy who just wanted an investment. And it's like, yo, hold on, I got both of these and I can do this. Like
the best of both worlds. And it was honestly the best thing that could happen to me, because I think if I went into it as the first guy, I'd be burnt out. You know, I'm already 12 years deep in this game at a young age. So it's like, I do another 12, and can I really do another 12? And I know everybody's like,
how can I last 20, 30 years?
Exactly. And the thing is, the new guy taught me, like, hey, you don't have to be there all the time. You can set up strategies and things and have everything set up to where employees learn how to do things the right way. And you can take a step back. You can take a day or two off. You can take a vacation. And when I say this man was hands off, he was hands off. And so the thing for me was learning how to be both. And
yeah,
I'm like, you know, like you say, I want things done right, because I know, and even till today, like I could be like, I know who made that pizza versus the pizza that I made. I could see it. And every time, and I remember when I was 16, 17 in the kitchen with the big guy from New York, he would just look at me from the side and be like, that's too much cheese. That's, you know, that's too much sauce. You know, you need to go around the edge a little bit more. And it all makes sense now, because now I'm looking at some of my employees, I'm like, that is too much cheese, you know, that's too much sauce, you know, and I'm like, I get it now. It's like this cycle of, what do they say, 10,000 hours at something?
Well, the mastery, yeah.
Exactly. So I put my 10,000 hours in, and now I can understand what he was telling me. You know, I see the vision now, what he was doing of getting that perfect pizza out to people. And
so now how do you use your 10,000 hours to teach the next person to be you or better?
That's the hard part, because it's like, I learned from myself. Like, I'm a good student. I think my hardest thing is being a good teacher, because I'm a quick learner. I can learn things on the fly, but teach somebody what I know, that's the hard part. And so the new owner, what he was doing is having me, he was like, just write down about how much stuff you use, what you do. And so he made me give him the recipe of, like, how do we make these sauces? How do we make these pizzas? How do we do this? And so it was kind of a shortcut for me, where I'm just taking everything I gave him and just passing it on to all the new people coming in. Like, these are the things that we do. They're what you put into these sauces. This is how you make this pizza. This is how you do this. So it was a blessing, but at the same time, I'm still trying to be a better teacher. I'm trying to learn to be a better teacher.
Heard that. That's the challenge for a lot of leaders. And I'm hesitant to say young, because 26 and you've been doing it 12 years, you really like 42.
It feels like it. So,
but you've been in the game, so you have to be that leader, and you have to be, and what people don't understand if they're not in this business, like when you got a staff, you're like everything for them. They bring everything that they have, they're bringing it to the job.
And that's what I learned too, because the original owner ended up being like a second dad to my sister. You know, they were really close, and he would give her life advice. He would tell her about credit. He would tell her about marriage. He would tell her about buying cars, all this kinds of stuff. So he had a lot of wisdom to him, more than just being a boss.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the key drivers in development is learning what moves people beyond the job.
Real life.
When you got to tap into, and I can hear from you, you got to tap into your skills with putting those things together for the new guy. Like he tapped into the skills that you didn't even realize you had. It sounds like, man, I like doing this. I can do all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And he gave you a chance to be creative and have some input. And it's all the same things when it comes down to passing it. Like, all right, how do we get better at this? Okay, you guys are here doing it every day. Like, I know you noticed this, or maybe you see somebody doing it a different way. Like, all right, why did you do that? all right, now let's talk about if this is a way to make it better or not. I appreciate it. Don't do it like that again. But now let's talk about it.
That's it, man. And and I'm trying to lean into that because I know the way I make pizzas isn't necessarily 100% the way the original guy was making pizzas, and maybe something simple in the way we stretch it, right? And everything else, ingredients and all that's the same, but the way we would stretch it, he would tell me, no, do it this way. And I just couldn't do it the way he did it.
Yeah.
But I had a way that I did it, and it would come out the same. And it's something that, as a customer, you're not going to feel what the crust feels like. So to him, it was a big deal. To me, it's like, this is the way I have to do it because I can't do it the way you do it. And now look, all the pizzas are like that.
And everybody, they followed your lead and took it. So one little change and him being open to it, or maybe he wasn't, it had to happen after that. But it was like, that's how you got better. And now you created a system for the next guy. I got a kid that works for me and I love him to death. He's the youngest person on the team, or youngest guy in the kitchen. And always like, so he's like, he getting hazed, like we on his ass
all the time.
And he chops steak. He's our grill guy. And I'm like, dude, why you chop the steaks? Like, why are you doing it? Like, little stuff. But he's good, and I love him to death. But and I give him these little lessons, and we talk all the time. He works for me on Tuesday nights, and it's just like the little stuff. And I love passing that little knowledge on. And I'm like, look, dude, you're getting better here. Or he'll have an idea about how we do a salad or a bowl, or how we do some prep, and we just got to open it up and give these guys an opportunity just to have their voices heard and say, look, to him, it feels like he's been doing it forever. He's been doing it for 12 months, but he's done enough to know that maybe I found a way to do it better, or a way that works best for me. I'm like, why you chop the steak? He goes, this is the only way I know how to chop the steak. And I can't change how he chops the steak, but I'm telling you that shit drives me crazy. I'm like, man, I can't even make videos in here while Tuesday. You just, I play the background like that's you in the background, but just so you know. But I just, and I love that, because once you give them a little ownership or something, then it's like, there's some pride in that. And again, I'm going back to your story. It sounds like now you've taken pride in those systems that you were able to, create and recreate for, during that ownership change that has continued to carry your business. And even now, so new owner comes in. How long did he stay in the game?
So I believe ownership started changing in 2018. And I started my process of becoming owner in 21 and didn't complete it until 23. So he was there for 5 years.
So 5 years, and he sold it to you, held some paper, let you pay him off. I love that. That's how I got in the game.
Yeah. Because we tried the bank way, and they approved it. The bank approved it, and they were like, we're just going to send it to the SBA, and if we approve it, 95% of the time, we're going to approve it right behind. So the bank approved it, SBA declined it. So I got the phone call like, SBA didn't approve your loan, so I don't know what you're going to do. So I went, and the owner was working with me like, we're going to make it happen. Well, we're going to make it happen because, I don't want to be a part of this game no more. And you got it. You're the pizza guy. So, he took it on the chin, and this owner financed it to me with a little down payment, and we've been hustling since.
Yeah, I love it. And are you still along those same lines of trying to open additional locations? Or what's the plan?
So that's the big idea. I don't know if you know this, but there's a big Pizza King chain out in Indiana.
Yeah, I hear about them. Every once in a while, somebody like, where am I in Indiana when I post things? I'm like,
I'm the exact. I'm not Indiana. Or like Pizza King of Texas. Please get it right. We don't cut pizzas in squares over here. So my big thing with that is I don't want to grow a franchise that's going to run into someone having the same name as us up north. So my big idea right now is figuring out a name And the first store I open up is going to be this new name by Pizza King. And going forward, just have that new name take over the whole thing. And
Okay. But same recipe systems, just kind of a rebranding just to make sure you're in the clear.
exactly. And that to me
I like that.
is going to be the hardest thing for me, because Pizza King, where we're at now in our area, the name holds weight. No, it's been in existence for 18 years.
Yeah.
And
The same place, same location, everything.
same place, same location, has been moved since 2006. And the new owner, he had an idea. He wanted to change the name. And I'm like, man, you don't want to do that though. Like, people know this place. But now as a new owner, I'm like, man, he had a point, because if you want to grow, you're going to run into Pizza King, Indiana. There's a Pizza King in Longview, Texas, which apparently is Paul McCartney.
That's not affiliated with you guys at all.
Not affiliated with us. So it's and it has some kind of weight that Paul McCartney, that's his favorite pizza, which, that's got celebrity status now. And
So they ain't going nowhere.
they ain't going nowhere. And I'm going big on TikTok with Pizza King Texas. And it's like, man, I'm making a name for this one online. And it's like, I'm going to have to change the name soon. So it's a lot to think about. I don't know.
Man.
Yeah.
And speaking of your I love your TikTok, by the way. That's how I found you. When I started this podcast, I started a TikTok page, and one of the pages that came up when I started to search pizza was Pizza King of Texas.
The algorithm worked.
And you had a fun. It works crazy, and I seen that slap your mama junk. And I'm like, oh, this my guy right here. This dude is hilarious, and all of the content is so like, look, I know we're all pizza guys, and I follow a lot of pizza guys on Instagram and Facebook. TikTok. We all make pizza. We all post all the pizza content, and that's cool.
Right.
But you step outside the box and come on the other side of the counter and get funny with it and show your personality. Like, what made you do that? Because I think that's hilarious. We talked a little bit before we started about kind of the direction you're going with that, but what made you decide that was the type of content you wanted to make?
So as manager, before I was in the ownership role, I had a personal TikTok, and I'm a big Toyota fanboy. So I started making Toyota TikToks, and I would say by my third video, I had a video hit 100K. I'm like, that.
Hold on, go back. Tell me again, what's it called?
My personal page?
No. You said you like to make what kind of videos?
A Toyota fanboy, like the car company, like Tacomas and Forerunners.
Like car content.
Car content. Yeah, it was car content, but specifically Toyota. And I was just messing around. I had never been on TikTok. I know it got really big during COVID. I would not mess with TikTok. So I'm not trying to see little girls dance. It's not for me. Finally, someone convinced me to download the app, and I'm like, oh, there's more stuff on here than just nonsense. And so I'm like, let me start making these Toyota videos. Let's see what happens. And by the third video, I had one hit 100K, and I'm like, that was easy. Like, I could do it again. So 1, 2, 3 videos later, again, 200,000. I'm like, okay, I know the system now. So I had a decently sized page. I grew a page from 0 to like 4,000 in probably 6 months. So then I'm working at Pizza King, doing these videos. Now I'm like, you know what Pizza King is missing is some social media interaction. Like, we're a hometown name, and we have our business like solidified here in Lick City, but online, nobody knows who we are. No one's like, when I go to Texas, I want to come here. Whenever we go down to Galveston, and stop here before we go to Galveston, And I'm like, that, I feel like that would be a game changer. So I told the owner, I'm like, hey, you want me to start a TikTok for Pizza King? I'm like, you don't got to pay me nothing. But, if we start getting some big deals or something, you can cut me a little bit or something. Yeah. So I took kind of basically what I learned from my personal page, and I was like, let me put this in a pizza. And so what I do is I'll start going to like Pizza Hut, I'll go to Domino's, I'll go to other pizza local chains to see what the videos they're making.
Yeah.
And what I saw was it's all like pizza. And I'm like, that's boring. Like, that's not gonna get no views. Someone's gonna want to watch a video of pizza all the time. And there's a guy, I think his name is Sal. I don't know if you've seen him on TikTok. Sal,
Oh,
yeah. I don't know his username, but his name is Sal.
I've probably seen him.
I think he's got 1,000,000+ followers on TikTok, and he kind of just got famous. He's some Italian dude in New York or Jersey or something, and he pretty much got famous from being like, just like a pizza guy, inspirational. And I don't know if it's his voice or what, but he garnered a following, and now I think he's expanding his pizza place off of just TikTok infamy, you know? And so I was like, you know what? Pizza's cool. We'll throw the pizzas in the videos just to kind of like as a prop, but we're going to make it funny, and we're going to make it where people want to interact and they want more, you know? There's only so many times you can post a video of a pepperoni pizza.
Like you could literally post the same pizza every week and
Nothing's going to happen.
there's no difference.
No different. And even taking it a step further, you know, ASMR, people like the sound of cutting pizzas or stretching pizzas and doing this. So I'm like, there's something here. And just let me give you some secrets. What I would learn is like picking a sound. That's important. You want to click on
I'm literally about to write some notes.
click on the sound, and what you want is a video or a sound that's got less than 50,000 videos made to it. If it's got less than 50,000, that means it's coming up as a sound. And once you make a video to it, the algorithm starts pushing that sound. And really, the sweet spot is 2 to 10,000. That's the sweet spot because it still has exponential growth left. That sound's gonna do good. And I know now that TikTok's changed a little bit, but for the most part, I think it's almost still the same in a way because they're pushing long form content now on TikTok. And back when I was doing my stuff, they were pushing short form content. And so the sweet spot was like 7 to 8 seconds. Because what's going to happen is I was going to watch the video and then it's going to restart. And it just keeps them watching.
To get more views.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it still works the same to an extent. If you have a really catchy short video, it's going to do well. But I'm still figuring out the new long-term content thing because, you know, I'm trying to get my 10K and start making some internet money too, you know, so.
I think you got to make like a whole show. A recurring characters coming into the shop. Like your stuff is so funny. Like how do you even come up with the ideas for your content?
Man, I'm just like that, man. I just be thinking of stuff. I'll see a video on TikTok and I'm like, I can turn that into pizza. And so I'll watch the video, I'll take my notes, and then I'm like, all right, so how do I bring that into Pizza King? Because I've 12 years, you know, I've seen some crazy stuff. And like the other day, man, there's gonna be a video soon. The other day, someone calls, they're like, I'm God. I was like, hold up. Oh, okay. And so then I swear I'm taking his order, and he goes, hey, baby, you want sausage? And I'm thinking he's talking to like a daughter or girlfriend, something, you know? He comes back on the phone. He's like, yeah, my dog wants sausage on their pizza. I'm like, what is going on right now, man? And so my wife, she also,
please be a delivery.
My wife works, and she's a delivery driver for me. So she ended up taking his delivery. She gets there, and the guy tells her like, yeah, I'm God, and I'm an angel sent from heaven, and people like, you need to get ready, and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, man, this guy's a trip, bro. Like he was on some drugs or something. And he ended up tipping $10. I'm like, I can't be mad at the guy, dude, spending $50. What can I say? Like, we gonna serve God whether it's him or not. So
That's right.
And so that's an idea for a video. It kind of sparked an idea where I want to start posting like storylines of the craziest phone calls, craziest deliveries we've ever dealt with. And that's going to be like my new kind of like, I know some pages are known for things. This is probably going to be what we're known for. The crazy story.
Okay.
Yeah.
The crazy stories, and look, the customers, they come with it too.
Exactly.
We get some crazy ones. We got this guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but I probably talked about it before. But this dude, he no pants party at the door. Come on, man.
Oh,
You gotta put your pants on to get these deliveries every time. The drivers, they go and they know they're like trying to hand them the pizza, so they don't look at his shit like, come on, bro. Like every
time. That's
you got the little robe on.
oh man. It's just
Like, and
it's always somebody, man. They got their little quirks or something. So I'm not gonna say no names, like you said, no names, but we have a customer who switches names. I'm male some days and a female other days, bro. And it's like once you finally, when you're a delivery driver and you got regulars and you're going consistently, you're like, man, I swear his name was this one day and now it's this the other day, and you're like, what's going on, man? And it's just him in an apartment, so it's like, I know it's not his mom, it's not his sister. He's legitimately, he switches his name when he feels like it.
You gonna start learning his schedule. Like, he's somebody, this person on Tuesday, and on Thursday I'm this.
It's crazy. But
I love them though. And the customers, they give you a run for their money when it comes to being funny and being wild. I love them to death, but sometimes they try to drive us crazy. They try to drive us.
It gives me something to look forward to though, because I'm like, what crazy thing are we dealing with today? And that's the way I look at it.
I got to talk to you about one, because I had a guy come in the other day, and you have to give me an idea for a video. But he's like, first time he come in, he's asking me a bunch of questions about the menu, about all this. Do you deliver? Oh yeah, we deliver. I'm like, yeah, but you can call us or you can order online. He goes, I don't do internet. I can't do that. I'm like, all right, well, you can just call us, and we'll bring it to you, and you can pay cash at the door, and we can take your credit card on the phone. He goes, I don't really carry too much cash, and I can't give out no credit card or phone. I'm like, man, do you want to do this, or do you not want to do this? And but it's like we get those all the time. We get them all the time.
My specific area is middle-aged white people, like probably 35 plus, with a $100,000 household income. Really, what that translates to is a bunch of old white people. They don't like the internet
With money.
They can't handle.
So you still get a lot of phone calls.
I get a lot of phone calls. Phone calls is probably 60% of my business.
Have you ever considered going away from phones at all?
No, I can't where I'm at. And
I'm the same. Are you still getting any results like with direct mail or anything like that? Because I feel like some of those older areas still got some love for direct
mail as we speak. So we're going to see how that goes. This is my first set of direct mail since taking ownership. And before I took over, I think it was a year prior, he sent direct mail. And I think he said he's seen like a 20% increase in sales. So we're going to see how it goes from here. Yeah, and the new thing I just
thinking about that crowd. Yeah, they're not ordering online. They ain't doing Uber. They really don't want to tip a driver like that.
No, they don't. So it's like you really gotta know your demographic, because the new thing I just did, and I wish I would have had it with me. My plan was to be at the shop this morning and have the New York thing in the background. But we ended up, I chose 11. That's the time we open. So there's going to be people in and out. So I stayed home to do this. But I just got my box done with our logo, the phone number, the address, the website. So we'll see. We're locked in with a lot of churches in the area. And I had been told, like, people ask, where's the pizza from? Where's the pizza from? Because we're using generic boxes. So my idea is that we have the branded boxes. Someone takes it home. They're like, man, we got to get this pizza again. So we'll see how that goes and how that pans out. And see if it's worth it or not. 'Cause I see y'all shop. Y'all got the West Shore out there.
Oh yeah, and we've been big about using that box like real estate. Like that's our chance to put our name in your kitchen. And that's how we look at it. Like we just started, not this last round of boxes, maybe a year and a half ago, where we started to do the QR code on the box to make it a little bit easier to get to that order and join the loyalty or change our deals. Yeah, that box is important real estate. I see a lot of creators that have been like flipping their boxes inside out with the content, so that when they take the videos or the pictures online or when we post stuff, you see the inside of the box, which is typically you see the inside of the box, which is nothing, blank. But these guys started folding the boxes inside out so that you can see the branding in the video or in the pictures. And I'm like, man, that shit is genius. So,
man, you got to get that name out there one way or another, man.
So I like it. And I'm a big fan. We like to change our box based on promotion and season. So we do like a March Madness box. We do a nice, we'll do a Halloween box. We'll do a Super Bowl box or something, like whatever we're promoting for that season. We'll try to work out a nice little specialty box. We do a Christmas box for our Christmas bike giveaway. We do a bike giveaway every Christmas. So we take entries by scanning the box when you can enter the win.
Who's making your box?
To use that. I use a company here out of Plain City called Box Tech, but they work for everybody. So if you're dealing with Cisco or US Foods or whoever, Benny Keith or whoever's over there,
all those,
I'll link you up with my guy Paul, but he does he does boxes for everybody. He does boxes all over the country.
Okay.
Good dudes. Right. They print on the fly, change designs, 3, 4, 5 colors, whatever you want. They're good.
What are you paying for each design? Were you having to pay they made me pay like a stamper?
Yeah, you got to pay for the plates. But if it's a design that you intend to stay with, they'll usually work out something. But if it's just going to be like a one time, like, oh, we just want to do a Valentine's box, then you probably pay, $500, $5 to $7. I think it was $605 or $600 for a plate. Yeah, to get a plate made.
That's what they just got me for. So all that is,
I'll link you up with him if you ever want to talk about it. I wish I'd have known beforehand. I'd have put you with him, but he's good. Yeah. He's the best paper guy in the business.
See, bro, the thing is, Pizza King's been around for 18 years, and it's kind of just been a mom and pop, like no promotion, it's been word of mouth for this whole time. And so I'm like, I'm gonna come in here strong. We're gonna do online promotions. We're gonna do social media. We're gonna put branding out there, because I'm a big fan of small business. And whenever I go to a small business, I critique, like, is the cup I'm getting branded? Is the boxes I'm getting branded? And it's like, if you're charging me a premium, I want to see the premium stuff. And so that's what I'm bringing to Pizza King. We're going to bring the branded box.
I love it.
We're going to bring the cool merch, and when you wear that shirt in store, you get 10% off. So, it's a reason to come back.
Oh, now I know to pack it when I come to Texas.
When you coming down, bro?
Soon, I hope. My brother lives, I think I told you before, my brother lives in Katy, Fulshear area. So this is my nephew's senior year basketball. So we'll be out for some games. And I know it's a little dry to Lee City, but I'll come over there.
Man, even if I have to go up there, I want to meet you in person. I want to, I love the person you are, and the amount of knowledge I've gained from just watching your videos, man, it's priceless, bro. And
I appreciate it.
I remember seeing, and that's Pizza King podcast. I'm like, oh, we got another Pizza King, and I'm like, oh, no. I want to give him the name. This is some good that's getting out here.
I'm like you though, because I may have to think about a change going forward as it continues to grow. And I love Pizza King, and I didn't give myself that name. When a guy I worked with started calling me Pizza King or Brandon, but it's not. I want to continue to grow, and I want to continue to teach, and I want it to not be in an intimidating way. And I think sometimes when I use Pizza King, it's almost in an arrogant way, and I'm not like that. So I want to figure out the best way to present the information that I'm trying to, because that's what's important to me, is just getting it out there and making sure that people can take the tools, the experience, the knowledge, whatever it is, and use it to get better in their own businesses without it being about me.
Right.
So I think I may have to. I've been thinking about that a lot, and I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Man, I mean, to me, I get what you're saying, but to me, I didn't think anything of the name. But when I seen the content and I seen the personality, I'm like, whatever name you choose, it'll work for you, because you come across so amicable and graceful and like not condescending by no means. And I don't know, man. I truly, because I'll sit there and reflect. I'm like, man, he's speaking nothing but truth, you know. And it's like, if you have a leadership problem, you have a you problem. You are the leader, so that's something that you have to focus on and figure out and get resolved. So I just wanted to tell you that in person, bro. Well, thank you for your podcast. Thank you for all the work you're putting in, and keep at it, bro, because I see it going big places.
Hey, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you being a part of this and coming on and joining me. This is the first time, but I promise you, it ain't gonna be the last. We broke the seal on your podcasting. You've been telling me like, I ain't done it before. No, now you have. And we gonna continue to reconnect and link up, and I can't wait to come out and see you. And I got to get in the video. I want to be the guy that paid our rent.
Bro, it look, okay. You brought it up. So we have, like you say, you know, we have employees that do driving and they do other things, right? So we had an employee, he's doing this thing called, and I'm gonna plug him in real quick, Garage Raiders. They gonna have to pay me for that one later. And
I'll tag them. I'll make sure you tag them.
now I don't even know if they have social media, but it's called Garage Raiders where we're at. And basically they go to people's houses and take out all their stuff, organize it, throw it away, whatever. So they come across a lot of things that they get to keep, because these people are like, just throw it away, just throw it away. Had a bag of what are they called? Like the prosthetics. Yeah, I was about to say anesthetics. No, that's not right. Prosthetics. You got a bag of prosthetics. And I'm like, what can we do with some prosthetics now? And I'm like, you know what? I know, I got it. You know, prices going up. Everybody's complaining about pricing, inflation. I'm like, it's starting to cost an arm and a leg. So it was too perfect. I had to do it.
Oh man, that was so good. They're all so good, and man, keep doing it. You know, keep making your content. I love it. I know that I'm just one person in a sea of many, and we're all trying to get to that creator, to that
big bag,
that TikTok creator fund. So whatever it takes, man, keep putting it out there. And I have that same thing. Like, am I making content for pizza eaters, or am I making content for potential customers, or am I making content for just general scrollers? And, you know, you go back and forth. I'm always of the opinion that I haven't found the right formula for social media to drive traffic into the restaurant. But I think once you get famous enough, and I know there's some places out there like Santoro's here in Tampa, where they get this strong following and it becomes that destination. And it becomes that thing that people want to go check out. Because look, when I go new places, I start searching, social on what's popular, what's popping, or what the hashtags are with that restaurant, and see what other people's experiences have been. So I know that it's possible, and I'm trying to get to the same thing that you're working on.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that, really, because one of the things that I see is like traveling TikTokers or whatever, like, oh, come to this place, and then they do, all the food that they get and stuff. And not that I'm insecure or anything, but like, I know my store is not the newest, it's not the nicest, and I know a lot of the places they go to are like brand new,
the new hot spots,
shining floors and stuff. And I'm not that, but I got good food. So that's what I'm trying to, with the second location, we want that brand new feeling with the good food, and make it like aesthetic for the people making videos and stuff. So that's kind of what the wall was, people to get something to put on social media or something. And as you're right, general scrollers, potential customers, and they're all very different, but
very, very different, and they interact in a different way. So trying to be a little bit of all of it for everybody,
it's taxing.
is one thing, but it's a lot. But I like what you do. I think it's funny as hell, and just keep going. Tell the people here how to find you, where you at on social, TikTok, IG,
Oh yeah,
or
so
your pages, and how to call the restaurant and get some pizza.
so we're
Everybody out there where
Pizza King of Texas on everything: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. The only thing we don't have is Twitter or X or whatever it is. Phone number is 281-554-7232. You can call us 11 to 9. 11 to 9 all day, every day. Lake City, come and see us. If you want t-shirts, my boy, we'll mail them out to you. I'll drive it out to you, wherever it's got to be, and then,
go get the merch. I ordered some shirts. I got that black one too, but we order some merch.
I'll have some new Halloween stuff coming out this year, so keep an eye out. We're working on that right now. On the TikTok subject, really what opened the key to because I really do have a little fan base right now off of TikTok, and
Yeah, you do.
the Keith Lee thing really opened up a door I didn't know was going to happen. And really that it was just more like a shot in the dark. Like I would, if you scroll down to the very first TikTok I made, I had 3 friends tag Keith Lee. And I was like, who is Keith Lee? I've never heard of Keith Lee. So that was the first time. I think that was May of last year. And so I clicked on him. I started seeing like what he was about, what he did. And the one that sticks out is Frankincense, because that was the first pizza shop he did, I think. And it changed that man's life. And
so everything he touched
turns to gold. But like I'm a man of research, right? So Frankincense had like their social media grew, their brand grew. He started franchising and stuff. And then what Keith Lee's been doing recently, he did a pizza shop in Dallas. He did a pizza shop in New York. Oh, of course, New York's known for pizza, so he did pizza in New York. But those pages didn't grow quite as big as the original, and then not even as big as mine with the videos that I did, which was crazy to me because he tagged them. So the map wasn't mapping to me. Like, how did Keith Lee tag you? You didn't grow past 2,000, right? But my video that I did tagging Keith Lee did put me to 4,000. And it was almost like it's who the people root for, right? Because people wanted him to come to me so bad. They wanted him to come to me so bad. And I wanted him to come to me so bad too, just because I wanted to meet the guy. Like, I want to give you some good, bro. Like I haven't shared a lot about my personal life, but I've had a hard personal life, man. And it would have just been nice to meet the man and just be in the vibes of Keith Lee and what he's about. Just kind of telling my story. And it didn't happen. He watched my Instagram story, so I know he's seen me. I know he knows who I am. And I just hope that my jokes and stuff wasn't something that kind of put him off. Because I know I had a video, because I know he's a big person of constructive criticism. And I have a video that was like, when I catch the person that leaves us a 1-star review, and it's like me punching the camera. And it's just like, because we have calls where it's like, we did everything right, but they chose one thing to complain about, and they'll give you a 1-star for that. Everything was right except for one tiny, minute thing. And they want to destroy your company. They want to tear you down. And it's like
without even giving me a chance to really do anything. Just call me.
They're just mad, and they don't want anything to be resolved. They just want to be mad. And that's kind of what I've been watching on your content recently, is making it right. You always have to make it right. And I think that's what I'm talking about longevity wise. I think after doing it 12 years, you see any people, you see the consistency of like, there you have some customers that we had down to a T where we're like, this has to be perfect or we're getting a phone call.
Yep.
And it's do it perfect, then you still get the phone call and you're like, I don't know what to do anymore because I'm making it perfect at this. I know who you are at this point. And I don't know, it just wears on you after so many years.
It really does. And you just got to try to stay in the fight and keep reminding yourself that it's just a pizza. It's just a pizza.
It's just a pizza.
Like whatever they're going through, either if I can make or break your day with a pizza, then that's a lot of power that you're giving me. So let me try to use it for good. Because sometimes the bad gets the best of us. And I had a moment a couple of weeks ago that me and a lady, we got into it over a calzone, and it wasn't it. All I did was lose business. So like at the end of the day, who really won?
Yeah, and that's the hardest.
I won that argument and lost that customer.
Man, I had it brings back another memory when I was just a manager. But I'm an important person to the company, so I'm never gonna get fired, really. And I guess I had that arrogance at that age. I think I was 18. And someone called and I took their order, repeated the order back to them, and everything was right. They said yes. I was like, okay, this is what I heard. You said yes. It's going to the kitchen. It gets delivered. They call back. They're like, my order's completely wrong. You're a fucking idiot. Like going off on me. And I'm like, look, I apologize. Like, I repeated it back to you. If I misheard or I misspoke, my apologies. We'll fix it. They didn't want to hear that. And they just kept going off. And I'm like, if you're calling me a fucking idiot, I'm like, you're the fucking idiot. Hangs up on them. One of those moments. And then they go to Facebook. And, I don't know if y'all have this in Florida, Talk or whatever. Talk of Lake City. This person, that Pizza King,
Oh, yeah. And it got like that.
And gratefully, though, and the story's crazy. Gratefully, she told the truth. She was like, this is what happened. And she step by step explained the whole situation. And what ended up happening was the community started bashing her and telling her, like, you need to treat food workers better. Like, really, you're at fault here because he repeated it back to you. And pretty much what happened was the community was behind me. They didn't know who I was, but they were behind me. And what ended up happening was the lady ended up deleting the post because all the comments were coming at her and her husband for being rude. And it was just a funny situation. It's like, not all situations are that way. But like you say, you just got to try and...
But again, like, why do people want to do that? That drives me crazy. Like, is your only goal to just tear us down? Like, it's fine if you don't want to shop here, you don't want to bring your money here, but you got to tell everybody that's what I get. I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm gonna bash you on social. I got this many followers. I'm like, I can't stop you, but I did try to make it right.
Yeah,
and
that's all we can do is try, right?
Yeah. So I mean, we're human too. We're gonna make mistakes. It's gonna happen. We can't. Even though we demand perfection out of every single order, every ticket, every interaction, we're humans. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to hear it wrong. We're going to make it wrong. If I see a ticket and that thing says no green peppers, I swear I grab green peppers first every damn time.
Okay. Like, I don't know. And that's what I'll be putting real life in context. So we had people that asked for square cut, and my immediate response is, we do not offer square cut. Because we're going to tell you yes, and I promise you it's going to get cut into triangles because it's just second nature. As soon as it comes out, it's triangles. And
every time.
I promise you, this is going to be a video coming soon. We have a customer. He asks for square cut every time. And every time we tell workers, hey, don't forget. We write it down, highlight it. Don't forget. It gets cut into triangles. And I try to tell the guy, like, hey, I'll remake it and I will make sure it's square cut for you. And he's like, no, I'm not going to wait. So it's been 5 times in the past month and a half that he's gotten triangle cut pizza. And so this very last time he came, he got 3 pizzas. He wanted all of them square cut. And for some reason, the printer ran out of paper. So we had to change the paper. So his ticket, the very last pizza, the square cut part got cut off. So the first 2 got square cut and the last one got regular cut. And he shows up and I'm like, man, sir, I know you asked for all 3 of them square cut. Something like something happened where the last one didn't get square cut. And he was like, that was the most important one. That was the one for kids. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, we're trying.
We just ruined the whole party.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm trying to, and this is making it right. Like, I'm like, I could double cut it. That's not good enough anymore. And it's like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm trying. I'm trying.
You just try to do your best moment to moment. And look, and you know, it's kind of this unwritten thing. Nobody will ever really admit to it, but it depends on the kind of customer you are too, how far I'm going on trying to recover you.
Yeah.
If I look at your history and you rock with me every week, I'm gonna take care of you.
Yeah.
But if it was your first time and you complaining and I ain't never seen you before and you never spent $1,
you ain't got no rapport, man. You ain't got no
we gonna take it as far as you want this to.
Yeah, man. It's a crazy thing, this food industry, man. Because like you say, you have your people that are riding for you. You know, like you know them on a first name basis. You know what they do for a living. You know where they live, and that's how I try to treat all my customers. But you know, there's sometimes you're getting slammed, you're shorthanded. You know, things happen, and sometimes you don't come across the nicest way, or I don't know, personalities clash. I don't know, and I really do try my best to treat all customers like family, but there's family you don't get along with. So,
hey, some people, I've told people before, maybe you might just be better off at Marco's. Okay, saying, I don't know that we're gonna be able to do what you need us to do. Like we're doing our best, but to tell me this isn't. I mean, look, if you want extra cheese, order extra cheese. But to say regular cheese is not enough cheese for you doesn't do anything to me. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Come on, good enough. You want extra cheese? Well, come on. Like, this is our spec, and you don't get to decide what the spec is. So we get into these little things with folks, and I don't want to argue. I never want to argue over pizza that, it's like arguing over $5. I'm not. Come on.
Yeah.
But like, right is right and wrong is wrong, and I don't let people take advantage. I not love defending, but I'm always going to stand up for our team. Like, I'm not going to let somebody just curse out the girl in the front. Right. I'll kick your ass out of here. Like, no, I'll drag you out of here. And I'm usually pretty chill, pretty calm. But if you start disrespecting them, I had a guy who was like mad disrespectful. He was like, he pulled up a chair, sat in front of the store, and he was like on a protest over some chicken wings. These chicken wings were too hot for his buddy. His buddy ordered them. He picked it up and dropped it off to him. The buddy said they were too hot. So this guy comes back demanding more wings. I'm like, if your buddy doesn't like the wings, tell him come back. We'll make them for him. But I'm not giving you shit. You didn't order anything. And he's just like cursing the girls out. And I'm like, sir, what did you order? He goes, I don't order here. I never eat here before. I'm like, well, what are you doing? Like, you about to he sat out there for 2 days. Called the cops on me. Like, oh, it was wild. Oh no, it got crazy over some wings. He called corporate. He did, and they're like, just give him the wings. I'm like, I ain't giving that guy shit. He ain't bite nothing. I don't know anything about this buddy that supposedly complained. Oh, my buddy can't come out the house. He can't drive. Well, I don't know what to tell you then. Tell him call me. But I'm not giving you anything because, it was wild.
Now the worst one I get is I've had people call and say, "Oh, you messed up my order last time." I'll put their number in the system. No orders. I'm like, you have a different number? No, this is my number. I'm like, then you've never ordered here in your life. What are you doing calling me? And they will swear up and down it was us. And I don't know if it's a scam or they truly in their heart believe that we messed their order up. And I'm like, we've never taken an order to you or given any order to you. And so that's always an interesting phone call. I've gotten that quite a few times. And I guess the hard part is we have a store,
like
30
minutes, free pizza.
Minutes down the road. King's Pizza. Pizza King, King's Pizza. So I don't know if there's a crisscross of customers who they swear they're calling another store, they're calling us. But I don't know. I feel like the internet's way too good these days to be getting confused like that. But it is what it is.
It happens though. It happens way too much.
Yeah.
Hey. But I ain't going to keep you any longer. Again, Dodi, I appreciate you coming on, bro. We're going to do this again real soon.
It was a pleasure, brother.
And anybody that listen, y'all out there, League City, Houston area, please go check out my man's best pizza. And then it's New York style pizza. They tossing it everything fresh, like top-notch ingredients. Go check out his page. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna get hungry. You might even drop a tear a little bit. So go check him out because the content is like that. Hey, say peace out to the people.
Y'all take care. Y'all come and see me, and we'll be here waiting to treat you like family. And it's your choice if it's good or bad. I don't know.
Go.
All love.